90s was the era when love used to happen at first sight. There were no profile matching, chatting, dating, or even right or left swipe. The moment the boy and girl's eyes met, they knew they were perfect for each other. Even I found my destined partner, my perfect match, like this. And to my surprise, he was not only my perfect match, he himself was very, very perfect, looking for perfection everywhere. He wants perfect meals on perfect time in perfect plates. He wants his room to be very perfect, almiras to be perfectly arranged, bed sheets should be tied properly. In fact, nobody was allowed to eat in his room so that it smells perfectly. His room door should be shut properly. He would not tolerate even a 2 centimeter of gap. You know why? Because a mosquito may enter and disturb his perfect ambience for sleep. Such was the level of perfection he always wanted. So basically, he was a perfectionist. And who is a perfectionist? A person who set extremely high standards for himself and for others and always strive for flawlessness. It was a challenge for me to become his perfect partner. But his profound love and care made it my passion to become his perfect wife. His higher expectations helped me to become a better version of myself. Believe me, I improved in all aspects of life, from simple cooking and making home to managing accounts and dealing with people. But I was never able to achieve that level where I could confidently pull off that iconic dialogue of a movie from Amir Khan, दिल चाहता है. वैसे perfection को improve करना मुश्किल होता है. It is difficult to improve perfection. I was never able to achieve that level. Rather, I realized on this journey of becoming a perfectionist that it is really impractical to chase perfection in humans. Humans are never perfect. And to deep dive into this perspective, you need to look at this picture. Don't be surprised, it's me. 21 years back, on the gracious day of my engagement, I was on the top of the world. As my top hair bun was similar to Shushmita Sen, Miss Universe. I was feeling like a gorgeous model, a designer's choice because of my long designer bindi and not to mention my pink eyes. But I know none of you can relate to my feelings today because today this face appears to be a makeup mishap or a beauty blunder. So I want to say the thing which was ideal yesterday may lose its charm today. Thing which is perfect for me may not be perfect for you. A perfect tea for me may be too sweet for you. A perfect bedding for me may be too soft and warm for you. So, can I say, perfection is very subjective depending on each perspective. If you're on the path of chasing it, you may improve first. But if you keep clinging to it, you may feel disgust. And to understand this, you need to understand 3 P's: IP, YP, SP. IP says, I should be perfect. YP says, you should be perfect. And SP says, situation should be perfect. Let's begin with IP. You all must have seen that one child in your class who always crib if he loses half or 1 mark in an exam. Oh my god, I just got 19 on 20. Where did I lose that 1 mark? How is it possible? How would I show this paper to my mom? Such are these perfectionists, always looking for that perfect 20 or 100. They cannot concentrate on what they achieve. Rather, they focus on what they lack. Just by losing 1 mark, 19 marks achieved have no value for them. They always set high standards for themselves and overcritically evaluate themselves. These are the people who never celebrate their success. Rather, they feel guilt and disheartened for not achieving perfection. Next, we come to YP. YP says you should be perfect. These perfectionists not only have high expectations from themselves, but they also expect others to achieve higher goals. And if you are unable to achieve those goals, do you know how these people behave? Let's listen to this anecdote. Many years ago, there was a king whose son was an epitome of excellence. Once he rewarded his son with a parrot. The boy got overwhelmed because he had heard many stories about talking parrot. He started teaching the parrot how to imitate human voice. But to his disappointment, the parrot was not responding. He started getting angry. He started punishing him by starving it. In fact, he used to tell him, "You have to be the best because you belong to the best in the kingdom." He started torturing the parrot. One day, to his surprise, he saw the parrot lying lifeless in the cage, but it was uttering few Hindi words. The boy got so elated that he ignored his dying condition and ran to call his father. But by the time they both reached, the parrot had already died. Now the boy started moaning, "Oh, I lost my talking parrot! I lost my talking parrot!" On watching this, the king revealed to him at that moment, "I never gifted you a parrot of talking breed." With such high expectations, these perfectionists force others to expand their boundaries, which may be progressive in some cases, but many times they build up tension and create toxic environment for others, as done by the prince in our story. And according to my experience, these people show a pattern of behavior A to F when others are unable to achieve their targets. And this A to F behavior is they get annoyed easily. B, they start blaming you for your shortfalls. C, they criticize you as callous and careless. D, they get disheartened because you have not paid enough attention to the details. E, they become egoistic and proclaim they could have achieved better results if they have done it themselves. F, they start finding faults even in the flawless thing done by you. Many of you could relate to this if you have first faced such behavior of your boss. Next, we come to SP. Situation should be perfect. These perfectionists not only look for perfection in human, but they also crave for perfect situations. And this has two negative impacts. First one, they do not enjoy the spontaneity of life. Okay, before coming to that, I would like to ask you a question. Can anyone wants to share what is the most important lesson you have learned from your life so far? Any answers?
Always be in the gratitude.
Wow, that's great. But I could see not most many hands are like this only. You people are not ready to answer, not because that you are afraid of speaking in public. Rather, you are looking for a perfect answer to this question right now in your brain. And that's why you are not able to answer. So, same is the condition with perfectionists. Whenever they look for perfect situation, they cannot enjoy the spontaneity of life. They cannot answer an immediate question. They cannot go for an unplanned trip. They always want a perfect holiday with all prior bookings and a perfect itinerary covering each and every aspect of their interest. They are very less experimental and find it very difficult to adjust to new situations. Next, the other negative impact is that when they wait for everything to be perfect, they keep on waiting and delaying the task, and we call it procrastination. These perfectionists always look for a perfect moment to start something new. And what is that perfect moment? The moment when they believe that every aspect of their preparation is totally perfect according to their perception. And if that moment does not arise, they keep on procrastinating, which may hamper their growth. Like you must have seen many people wait for the ideal circumstances to make a leap from employment to entrepreneurship. And if that moment does not arise, they keep stucking in the same job. Even I did the same thing. I want to establish myself as a public motivational speaker, but I consistently delayed taking action for 2 years just because I feel I'm not perfectly ready for it. So, should one strive for perfection or not? This is the question even Harvard Business Review tried to find answer. And according to their research, these perfectionists have a higher level of motivation, higher level of consciousness. In fact, they work on every detail of the work. But due to their mindset, which do not accept I, you, and the situation below perfection, and also due to their overcritical behavior, they take a lot of stress, anxiety, and burnout. So, they conducted a meta analysis of 95 studies covering 25,000 working individuals and concluded that perfection is a much bigger weakness than assumed. Yes, you heard it right. Perfection is a much bigger weakness than assumed. So, how to overcome this weakness? There are two ways. First, redefine your belief system. A perfectionist needs to understand that to obtain perfect result, he can create perfect procedures, perfect systems, perfect machineries. But the one who is controlling them, that is human, they cannot be perfect. Suppose once in a life you got a chance to buy your dream car from the most luxurious brand. You know it is perfectly made, it is perfectly manufactured, it has all safety features. So, does this guarantee that this car won't meet any accident on the road? No, it depends on the driver. So, basically, humans, unlike machinery, are driven by emotions, and emotions are very dynamic depending on your upbringing, belief system, experiences, moods, situations, and so on. So, expecting perfection from humans is quite an imperfect act. Second, redesign your actions. A perfectionist, instead of focusing on perfection as the destination, he should focus on the journey of self improvement and growth. Once, a jewelry craftsman was hesitating to show a peacock ring to his designer as he thought the shape of the feather is not perfect. But designer on seeing the piece commented, "Wow, you made a marvelous ring. Just change the color of the stones you have used in the feather. It would enhance the beauty of the ring." Little relieved, now the craftsman said to the designer, "But sir, the shape of feather is not perfect." The designer said, "It is okay. I know you can create a better piece next time." So, this is the right attitude. Instead of criticizing yourself or the other for not achieving perfection, you should follow a positive approach of AIM, which says, admire and acknowledge the efforts done by others. I, improve wherever possible. M, motivate yourself and others for achieving next higher level target in life. So, we all need to accept this fact. Each person is a unique combination of his own strength and weaknesses. So, instead of chasing perfection, we need to embrace progression. And instead of becoming a perfect human, you need to become a happy human. So, do you know who is happy basically? According to Gerard Way, being happy does not mean everything is perfect. It means you have learned to see beyond the imperfections. And for me, this is the idea worth spreading. And you always remember, we all are imperfect humans dealing with imperfect situation and living in this imperfect world. And this is perfectly okay. Thank you so much.